Yeah. So the pit road being repaved, nice and smooth now. All one consistent color, no patches. So leaving pit road, smoother than it was, definitely, and narrow. So our apron is very narrow compared to what we've had in the past. Not that big of an issue, really. We only use the last lane and a half to the banking. So for us, I mean, we have 2 lanes here, which is more than enough. So really not concerned about that. The big change is, and we'll hit it aggressively to see what it does, but the banking change here is much lighter than what we had before, and it's much wider. So from the bottom of the racetrack all the way to the top is a pretty crazy distance. But plenty of room to choose a line over here. You know, we're figuring on being on the bottom probably to start. And I think Ed was saying the same thing. You know, maybe the bottom, the radius is so tight now that we might end up moving up a lane. Hopefully we move up a lane or 2 so that we can keep momentum, being that 3 and 4 is going to be, well, I'm assuming, a lot faster with the added banking and, you know, a wider radius. So plenty of room on exit 2 here. Just a ton of space to wash out to the wall. Typically, turn 2 has been our problem area. You know, the banking just falls away very abruptly. You got it pinched on exit and you're trying to get up off the corner. Now you have so much more room all the way out. You'll be in pretty good shape. 3 and 4 is pretty much untouched, other than just new pavement that did dry within the last 30 minutes from being soaking wet, which is fantastic.
Best news of the day, huh?
Best news of the day right there, especially for our fans. You know, that's going to be big. Still got the characteristic tunnel bump at the top of 3 and 4. We don't want it to all go away. We want some character. You know, turn 4 is pretty much the same there. It's just all smooth and pleasant.
Let's see how wide this entry is here.
Yeah, so this is the big part. It's making a decision going into turn 1 now. I mean, you go out all the way to the wall on entry, very flat entry, kind of ramps up into the banking. But now, I mean, you have so many options. You know, where our old line used to be somewhere in here, we can go another 20, 30 foot lower, all the way down to the apron, get it pointed early, really drive up off the corner with plenty of room to be in the throttle. So that's going to be really nice right there. 3 and 4, we'll run the bottom this time. It's pretty smooth. It doesn't really have the bump in it yet, so it stayed, they did a good job working that one. Off of 4, it gets tight here, just not as bad as off of 2. Banking does fall away, but you're pretty much straight at that point, so it's not too bad.
Do you like the idea of having a track here where each end is so much different?
You know, I think we saw some good success with Kentucky doing it, and I think it's going to be a good thing. You know, we go up to, you know, over here we have so much room to race, less banking. There's going to be less speed over here just because of that. And then as you get to 4, you're just going to narrow up. You got several more degrees of banking. You know, it just changes the perspective. It's hard to get a car perfect for 2 different corners. And when you have a car that's perfect in 2 different corners, that's the car that'll run away with a race. You know, if somebody can get 2 corners that are completely different, both handling extremely well, then, well, props to them. They did something no one else can really figure out. So, you know, I think that's what creates something. If somebody can be really good in 3 and 4 and not as good in 1 and 2, and another guy can be good over here, that'll lead to some really great racing.
What are restarts going to look like with this entry here?
About 5 wide. I hope that's not the case because it's very stressful, but you know, there's definitely a ton of room to race over here. I mean, we've been, you know, bottom, middle to top, and you know, trying a mid to top right here, and there's just a ton of room. There's so much real estate to race in. Now it is going to narrow up right here as we get to the back straightaway, so we are going to have to be aware of that. But it's going to be a good time. And then it's going to be narrow over here. It's going to be your typical 3 and 4 at Texas. By the way, tires are rated to 186 miles an hour. We're good.
Okay.
I did check.
We haven't gotten there yet?
We're gonna try. We're at 102.
We don't need to try.
No?
No.
You scared?
I don't know that I'm scared. I'm a father of two. How's that?
There you go.
And we don't have a roll cage in here.
No roll cage.
And it's brand new. It's got, what, 120 miles on it?
124 now.
And
They won't appreciate that, will they?
no.
You want me to drop you off?
Yeah.
But yeah, plenty of room. Very flat.
Ed was commenting too on how it's not so black like most repaves.
No, and what they're doing is also something that I think Kansas and Kentucky have tried. It's just an aging process. So it's not your typical solid black repave. They're running they got a tire monster here. They have the tire dragon here to put some rubber in the racetrack, but they are essentially washing the racetrack as soon as it's been repaved, and they're running I believe it's lime into the track to try and wear it and age the racetrack as quickly as possible. Just knowing that new pavement is not always the best racing. Newer, smoother, better option pavement is what's really going to create a better race. So I think that's where we're at right there, and I think that's why you see the track does not look like brand new pavement from a color standpoint.